Are you curious about data analysis? Wondering what it takes to become a data analyst and how much you could earn? Stay tuned as we address these burning questions and more in today's video. At K21 Academy, we have empowered over 10,000 students and working professionals to kickstart high-paying successful career in Azure Data. Ready to take the next leap? Join our founder and cloud expert Atul Kumar for a free Azure Data class. Secure your spot today by registering to the link in the description below.
When it comes to the task of a data analyst, your data could actually be spread across multiple data sources, right? So let's say your data, few of your data is in the Azure, in different services, just scattered across different services. You have a little bit of your data which is on web, open source. Little bit of your data is on SQL on-prem or SQL on cloud, right? Maybe your data is in Excel files, which is again on-prem or on cloud. So these are just few data sources that I'm mentioning over here. But in real time, your data could actually be spread across multiple data sources, right? Now, what I want you to understand is that as a data analyst, my first task is to go ahead and gather all of this data. When I say gather this data, irrespective of where the data is lying, remember this is where your business analyst is working along with your data analyst. Both of them are going to identify these leads of data and they would perform the first task, which is data gathering. This is the first task that both of them together are going to be performing, right? Because the schema that is available or the schema, default schema in which it is saved is going to be different for different data sources, right? If I talk about Azure, the way your data is saved over there is different. The way your data is available on web is different. It's different in Excel, it's different in JSON, different in XML, right? So you have to bring it in that one common platform where you can identify all of them in one go, right? And that is what is data gathering. Once this is done, then you move on to the second step where you would be dwelling with cleaning the data or transforming the data. Cleanse or transform data. Now, what do I mean by this? So your data is coming from multiple data sources, right? So your data could be raw, your data could be unprocessed, there could be a lot of bugs in your data, there could be formula errors in your Excel, there could be null values in your SQL, there could be redundant data as well, there could be tables over here which are corrupted, right? On web you might have tables which are corrupted. So you have gathered it as it is over here, right? But you cannot take it further for your insight. So the second step is where you're going to deal with all of this data and clean the data, right? When I say clean the data, that means you're going to go ahead and get rid of all the unnecessary columns, the error based data, the redundant data, the null data, anything at all which you do not require in the further steps, you will get rid of that, right? For you to get rid of that, you have to first identify what is the type of the report that you're creating, right? If I'm going to say that I'm going to be creating a diagnostic report, which is going to be answering the question, why was there a sales drop? What is the kind of data I will filter over here? Only the data that will help me create this specific report. I will retain only that data. I would not like to continue the further process with unnecessary data, right? And that is the reason why before you start your process, it is important that you identify the type of data analysis that you're performing. One more example, which I would like to see, this part of whichever I'm talking is cleanse, right? Now, what is transform? Both of them are coming in the same step. So when I speak about transform, what is the thing that I would be doing in this step? See, let's say you have a web form. Okay, you have created a web form for your customers, your prospective leads, and you have a field over there. You ask the customer to enter their name, the contact number, and all of that, and you're asking the customer to enter their country also, right? Now, different customers might enter their country in the if you have not kept it in the form of a drop down, you have kept it in the form of a text. You may have entries like this. There are people entering it as USA, few of them entering it as America, few of them entering it as the whole thing, United States of America. So the same country is actually saved in such multiple formats. If I'm not going to clean this part, what would happen? So eventually, when I'm going to create the report, let's say there's a place where I want to go and show the insight about how many customers I have from every individual country. And there, if I'm going to show the count of customers from America, that would definitely be a wrong count because I have never really transformed my data. Had I transformed my data, had I noticed this, and if I had converted all of this into one uniform format, realizing that I'm going to be using this later on, in that case, I know that the count is going to be exactly accurate, right? So that is what I mean by transformation. So now we know the importance of cleansing the data and transforming the data, right? Moving on to the next step. The third step is where you would do modeling. I will put it as data modeling. Now, what do I mean by data modeling? So, see, when I'm dealing with data, I realize that I'm bringing data from multiple data sources, right? There could be a possibility that a data source which I got from Azure and a data source which I pulled from Excel, there is a relationship between the two of them. For example, let's say on Azure, I have my products details saved on Azure. Okay. And my Excel is having all my warehouse details. Is there a relationship between the products and the warehouse? Definitely yes, right? So warehouse is going to be storing the product count. And if I have my product details over here, then obviously I can go and create a relationship between the two of them, right? Now, the impact of not creating the relationship. So if you're saying, okay, how is this going to impact my insight? If there is a prospective relationship, and you are not creating that prospective relationship in Azure, there is a possibility that you may not get the accurate data inside your insight. So when we are going to do data modeling, that time I will show you how the scenario is before you create a relationship and after you create the relationship. Then you'll realize, how important it is for you to do data modeling, right? The next step, that is step number 4, is to create your reports, right? So when I say create reports, I'm basically going to be adding a lot of visuals, a lot of insights to this. Right? That's the whole idea of creating your final insights, right? This could be single or multiple pages, right? So you can have reports which could be single or multi-page, right? Now, what will you have in these reports? In these reports, you would have visuals. So let's say this is one page, this is another page, this is another page, etc. And in every page, I will have some information. So assume that this page is going to show me a bar chart. I know that I'm creating a predictive analysis. And my predictive analysis, I have multiple factors which I want to show. Right. So I might create a bar chart in one report. In another report, I might create a line chart. In the third report, I can divide it into two, where on top there is a pie chart and at the bottom there is a scatter chart. Right. So I can have as many pages as I want to, and my pages can be defined to give me the insight that I'm looking forward for, right? Now, the thing here is the fact that all these 4 steps, whichever I'm putting in this red color box, all of this is carried out by one component of Power BI, which is known as, because we are focusing on the data analytics tool, Power BI in this case, right? So all of this is carried out by one component of Power BI, which is known as Power BI Desktop. Okay, so Power BI Desktop is a free tool that is available, which we would be using in order to go ahead and perform these 4 steps. If you see here, this is Power BI Desktop, which is a local application, which is a free application, which I have created, and it is on my machine. Now, if it is a software that is created on my machine, that means until this step, everything that I'm going to be doing, I'm actually doing it on my local machine, which means this is not yet accessible to my organization. It is not accessible to my teams yet, right? So how am I going to move this to cloud? Because just keeping it on your local machine is not going to serve the purpose. You probably want to share it with your colleagues. You probably want to share it with the vendors, right? Who are looking forward for the insights. So that is where I would move one step out, where I'm going to go ahead and start publishing my reports, right? So this is where I will move outside Power BI Desktop and I'm going to actually publish my report. And when I say publish, basically what I'm doing is I'm just coming out of Power BI Desktop and I'm going to go to step number 5, where I'm going to be publishing my report to workspace. Now, what are these workspaces? Workspaces, consider them as containers. Okay, they would be acting as containers which will help you hold the data on your cloud, right? Once I push it to the workspace, what am I going to do next? Now, one thing that I want to point out over here is, see, when I discussed about these reports, these are single or multi-page reports. Let me give you an example here. Assume that, refer to some monthly report cards or monthly tests or assignments that is carried out on a regular basis in an organization, or let's say in the school. When a parent refers to the report card on a monthly basis, there could be so many factors that you're actually involving in that report card. There could be marks for the extracurricular activity of the child, the academics of the child, and things like that. But not everything is something that you want to look forward for towards the end of the year. So when it comes to the final report card, you probably are not interested in most of the factors that are generated in a lot of details for the monthly report basis. So in that case, what you would do, you would want one consolidated final report, right? And that one consolidated final report that you are going to be creating is called as dashboard. Right? So when I talk about dashboard, it is basically that one page summary which you are going to be creating once you have navigated to the cloud service. Right? If I have to give this description, so the detailed report that you have created before, you are probably looking forward to give a one-page summary so that the management need not scroll through every single page of the report that you have created, right? And this would be part of create dashboard. Now, once you've completed this, now look at these steps. Step number 6 and step number 5. These two steps are part of the second component of Power BI, which is known as Power BI Cloud Service. And once you have created this, after that, you're free to go ahead and share this report or the dashboard through multiple channels. You can share it via Teams, you can share it via email, you can collaborate with your team using the workspace. We would see these options as we go ahead. You can share it in mobile apps, you can share it in web applications. Okay? So these are the multiple channels through which you can go ahead and distribute your dashboard, share your dashboard, and share your reports.
As we dive into the world of data analysis, one thing becomes clear. The demand for skilled professionals in this field is soaring, and with that demands come lucrative opportunities. Even entry-level data analysts can expect salaries comfortably above $70,000 mark, while seasoned experts in specialized roles often command well $100,000. So what exactly does data analyst career path entail? You can look at screen. Looking ahead to 2024, the outlook of data analysts remain incredibly promising. With businesses generating amounts of data, the need for skills analysts to make sense of it continues to skyrocket. These professionals excel in wrangling massive datasets, wielding programming languages like SQL, Python, and R with ease. They are also adapting at visualization data using tools like Tableau and SAS and mining insights and building models and so on. In fact, the World Economic Forum has signaled out data and AI as one of the fastest growing professionals with astonishing growth rate of 41% annually. This means that opportunity of data analysts are not only plentiful but also diverse. The Bureau of Labor Statistics echoing this sentiment, projecting significant growth in related occupations from 2020 to 2030. In this dynamic landscape, the role of data analyst has never been crucial. So if you are considering a career in this field, now is the time to seize the opportunity and embark the journey filled with endless possibilities. Thank you so much for staying with us till the end of the video. I have something special to share if you loved our content today. Then you are absolutely going to adore what's coming next. We have a free class. And the best part is, it's available for everyone. This class goes in depth into the topics we touched on today, offering you detailed insights, comprehensive explanation, and even some exclusive content that wasn't covered in this video. All you have to do is just click the link in the description below, or if you are just starting out, just type k21academy.com/Azure Data 02. Now all the information inside the video that we will be covering is listed here. Now for the class, all you have to do is just select the date, enter your name, enter your email ID, enter your phone number, click on register now. Then you will be redirected to this page. You can also add this to your Google Calendar and your Apple Calendar. Also, I promise that this is something you don't want to miss. So go ahead, click on the link and step into the world where learning knows no boundaries. Till then, keep enjoying. I'll see you in the next video. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if there is a topic we did not cover, drop a comment below and we will include it in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative content like this. Stay tuned to K21 Academy to level up your cloud skills.